The Montenegrin Campaign of World War I, which was fought in January 1916, was a part of the Serbian Campaign, in which Austria-Hungary defeated and occupied the Kingdom of Montenegro, an ally of Serbia. By January 1916, the Serbian had been defeated by an Austrian-Hungarian, German and Bulgarian invasion. The remnants of the Serbian army had withdrawn through Montenegro and Albania, and were being evacuated by Allied ships since the 12th of December, first to Italy and later to Corfu. The k.u.k. High Command in Teschen decided to use the success in Serbia to knock Montenegro out of the war. The army of Montenegro that had fought alongside their allies in Serbia had now withdrawn into their own territory, but were still resisting against the Central Powers. Furthermore, Franz Conrad von Hotzendorf wanted to take the Italian-held Albanian ports of Durazzo and Valona. Two Austrian Army corps were formed in December 1915. One in the west under command of Stjepan Sarkotic between Trebinje and Kota, composed of the 19 Army Corps, reinforced with troops from Bosnia-Herzegovina and Dalmatia. They had to attack the main force of the Montenegrin army, gathered around Mount Lovćen, and a second attack was planned from Trebinje towards the east. In the east and north, the 8 Army Corps under command of Hermann Koves von Kovesassa was to bind the Montenegrin troops the present Eastern Front. The 8 Army Corps, who pursued the withdrawing Montenegrin Expeditionary Army, had two tasks. On the one hand, to bind these troops. For this the 62nd and 53rd Infantry Division was used. On the other hand, it had to pass the Montenegrin right wing and converge with the 19 Corps on Podgorica. The 62nd and 53rd Infantry Division entered Montenegro on the 5th of January 1916 from the northeast and advanced along the river towards Plivia and by Jelopolje, where they were stopped by the Montenegrins in the Battle of Mokovac. At the same time, the 10th and 18th Mountain Brigade advanced from Novi Pazar and on the 10th of January the city of Bahrain. The 205th and 9th Mountain Brigade advanced westwards from Pristina and took Pekan Velika. The 57th Infantry Division advanced from Prizren, Western Front. Mount Lovćen was the key defensive position of the Montenegrin army, who defended it as a citadel with roughly two-thirds of its forces. The Austrian-Hungarians, under Croatian General Stjepan Sarkotic, gathered large quantities of heavy artillery in Kota, supported by ships' artillery from the Austro-Hungarian Navy. On the 8th of January the attack began with a massive artillery bombardment. The Montenegrins lacked everything: guns, ammunition, food and shelter. On the 11th of January, Mount Lovćen was in Austrian hands. In the meantime, two independent brigades under Feldmarschall Lieutenant Brown advanced towards Nikšić, covering the left flank and threatening to cut off the Montenegrins from the northeast. On the 13th of January 1916, the vanguard of the Austrian army reached the capital Cetinje. Brown had encountered stiff resistance and advanced only 10 kilometers in the direction of Nikšić. Consequences: negotiations on an armistice started on the 13th of January, after the fall of Cetinje. King Nicholas I of Montenegro first refused the harsh Austrian terms, but fled to Albania and from there to Italy on the 19th of January. From there he issued an order to Janko Vukotic demanding that the army continued to fight and eventually retreat with the Serbians to Albania and Corfu, but the ministers that had remained in Montenegro issued a proclamation to the Montenegrin armed forces to surrender all weapons. On the 1st of March a provisional military government was established under Victor Weber Edler von Webenau. He was replaced by Heinrich Klammartnik on 10 July 1917, who filled this position until the end of the war. General Stepan Sarkotic was made a Hungarian baron and officially styled Stefan Baron Sarkotic von Lovsken. Major General Ignaz Trollmann, commander of the 19th Corps, was ennobled as baron in 1917 with the style of Friar Trollmann von Lovskenberg. General Koves was awarded the Silver Merit Medal with War Ribbon on 12 January 1916 and promoted to General Obis on 26 February 1916. During the following weeks the troops of the Third Austrian-Hungarian Army occupied the rest of Montenegro and invaded Albania, taking Scutari and finally Durazzo at the end of February. The evacuation of the Serbian army had been completed on 10 February.